If you feel like this guy is married, he probably is. If you feel like this person is lying to you, he probably is. Online dating is not an arena where you can afford to be naive. Trust that gut feeling. It could save your life. This is Steve with Pretty and Things. Welcome back to my channel. And if you are new to my channel, welcome. Well guys, I am back with a new video, a new hypergamy video. And the topic of this video is widely requested, and it is about online dating. Now, before we get started, please do not forget to subscribe to this channel and turn on those notifications so you are aware whenever I upload a great new video just like this one. Okay, you guys, so online dating for women in their 40s, 50s, and beyond. I myself have tried it off and on, and I am not a fan. For me, I do not think the quality of man that I want is on Tinder. So I am not a fan, but that is my personal perspective. But you know, you are grown, and if you want to try it, if you want to do it, you're going to do it. So if you're going to do it, you might as well do it right. So I'm going to give you my advice on online dating, as well as, you know, a few of my experiences with dating online. Okay, so before we get started, you guys, you really need to listen to this video all the way through, because some of the things I'm going to tell you could literally save your life. Now, so here's my advice with regards to online dating, and I've actually written them down so I don't forget anything, okay? First thing, take your time. You guys, take your time. There's no rush. Don't be desperate. You get online, just sort of survey and check out the situation. Look at those profiles, read those profiles, because a lot of people just sort of gloss over them. And you could, you know, you can catch some things in the profile, what they say in the profile versus what they tell you, you know, on the phone, for example. Do not get invested at all in these guys. It's important to detach. Another piece of advice I would give you is to have a roster. Go out with, you know, a few guys at a time, and that will help you to detach and not get hung up on one guy. Because what you have to understand is, when you're talking to these men, they are talking to other women as well. So for you to invest time and emotion in some guy you met online, it's just going to lead you to heartache, and frankly, it makes no sense. Detach and have a roster of, you know, 2, 3 guys, 3 or 4 guys, to be honest. If you're going to do online dating, you have to have a I don't care attitude. Go out and have fun. And if you meet someone, great. If not, that's okay. But you cannot be invested in these guys. I would encourage you to sort of date against type. You know, if you are a woman who has only dated, you know, black men, I would encourage you to date Hispanic men, white men, and Asian men. If you are a woman who has sort of dated a certain type of man and it has not worked out, then try something new. Another piece of advice I would give you is to avoid the I like your pictures, let's meet guy. If they're looking at your picture and their first thing is like, let's meet, because they have made absolutely no effort to get to know you. A lot of them don't even know your name. So that tells you right there that they are just looking to get laid. That's it. Another serious red flag is the texter, the guy who will not speak to you. His sole communication is texting. No, 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 no. A man who cannot be bothered to speak to you does not want to get to know you. He is looking to get laid. You have to speak to them. I never met anyone I did not speak to at least 3 times. If he is unwilling to have a conversation with you, cut him loose. Don't even bother. Don't bother. So let me tell you about one of my experience with, guys looking for nothing but sex. I met this guy, this white guy on Bumble. And, we exchanged messages and, I kind of got, good vibe about him, but of course you never know. So, before we got to the phone call stage, we were about to, let's have a conversation after a few, message exchanges. He flat out told me that he is only looking for sex. His wife just had a baby and she's not interested in sex. Also, and get this guy told me that he had a house, like somewhere in the suburbs, that his wife knew nothing about. So this guy is on the site strictly looking for hookups. And what you have to understand is that for every woman like me who will say no, there are plenty of other women who will say yes. If, random sex is not your thing or hookups is not your thing, and it shouldn't be, particularly at this age. It really shouldn't be. Then you need to have your standards and cut somebody off like that quick, fast, in a hurry. Don't waste your time. And although I'm a person who doesn't believe in giving someone credit for something they should do, in this particular instance, I do give him credit. He knew what he wanted. He knew that I was not going to give him what he wanted, so he did not waste his time or mine. Another important tip, you guys, and I cannot emphasize this enough. Never, ever, ever let one of these guys pick you up from your home. Never. If you meet him for, if you choose to meet him for dinner or drinks or coffee or whatever, I personally never met anybody for drinks or coffee. I always went out to dinner with them, and I'll get to that in a moment. But if you choose to have a date or meet up with any guy you meet online, do not tell him where you live. Do not have him come to your house. And I know women who have done that. And that is crazy. That is a safety issue. And there are a lot of whack jobs online who will stalk you. Always meet in a public place. Do not go to his home. Do not go to an area where you two are isolated and there's no one else around. Another piece of advice I would give you is to let somebody know where you are. That's something I always did. I let my mom know, my sisters know, my nephew know. I always let somebody know where I was going. Probably one of the most important pieces of advice I'm going to give you is do not, under any circumstances, introduce these random guys that you meet online to your children. You don't know if they are pedophiles. You don't know who they are or what their intentions are. Almost equally important is do not have sex with these guys that you meet online. Keep your legs closed. If you want to have any hopes of meeting a nice guy and having him have some sincere interest in you, you have to keep your legs closed to sort of differentiate yourself between the other girls or other women that, have random sex with these guys. I've known women who have slept with guys, and then the very next day, he is online. I mean, she's stalking him online. She goes incognito where he can't see her online, but she can see him. And she's all pissed off and angry because she feels used. But, baby girl, it's your fault. You didn't know this man. You guys were not, you had no, commitment from this person. You never agreed to, get offline. None of that. So you have no right to be angry. He doesn't owe you anything. So that's really important, you guys. Keep your legs closed until you have a committed situation. Do not fall for the okie doke. Get to know these guys. Because a lot of times these guys will be in their profile saying like they're looking for a relationship, because that's what they know women want to hear. Most women want to hear that. But in actuality, they're not. They're just looking to hook up. So do not fall for these guys. You know, do not assume that someone who says they're looking for a relationship is telling you the truth. Online dating is not an arena where you can afford to be naive. It is absolutely imperative that you trust your instincts. You trust that gut feeling that everybody has. You know, what I find frustrating in a lot of women is that we make choices that we know are bad. There are women who see red flags everywhere. These red flags are hitting them in the face, and they still continue to see this person. You have to stop making the same mistakes. That's why I suggest dating against type. If you feel like this guy is married, he probably is. If you feel like this person is lying to you, he probably is. Trust that gut feeling. It could save your life. When someone shows you who they are, believe them. When someone shows you they are possessive, you know, I've gone out with a guy who we had one date, and then after that, he's, you know, clocking me, you know, where were you, you know, who were you with, and everything. It's like, you know, this is after one date. Boop, block, done. People like that, men like that, are controlling, a lot of times, you know, abusive, and just nuts. In general, what I tell my nieces, never, ever, ever be afraid to say no. If it's something you don't want to do, just say no. If he presses the issue, you know what? Leave. Because you know what type of person he is. Why should what's important to him be more important than what is important to you? And if you're the type of woman who is a pleaser, who has low self-esteem, you might have some trouble. I don't think you're gonna have some issues with online dating. You should seek counseling and sort of get yourself together, or at least work on yourself before you do this, because there are a lot of narcissistic, manipulative men in this world, and many of them are online. If you are a people pleaser, if you're one of those people who can't say no, if you're one of those people who go along to get along, you could find yourself in straight up danger. Now that kind of leads me to the coffee versus dinner. As I've said before, I never met anyone who did not take me to dinner. And I will tell you why. Number one, I spoke to them. This texting only bullshit, no. I absolutely categorically refuse to do what I call the coffee house inspection, where someone, you know, meets you for coffee at Starbucks. You know, I have never done. I refuse to meet somebody for a drink. No. If you want my time, be a gentleman and take me out on a date. If you are unwilling to do that, sayonara, because you are not what I want. And I mean, as I told you before, first dates, the guy took me on a dinner cruise. First we played golf, and he paid for my golf lessons. He took me on a dinner cruise. You know, I've been to all kinds of great restaurants like Morton's. I mean, just really nice first dates. And I will say this, every single man who took me on these wonderful first dates was a white guy. And brothers can get mad all they want to. The fact of the matter is that you are much more likely to be taken out on a nice dinner or be entertained and have some, you know, money spent on you from a white guy than you are from a black guy, and that is a fact. This is why, once again, you should be open to the swirl. I'm not saying, you know, white men are the answer or that you cannot meet some quality black men who will do the same. But chances are that you will get that sort of treatment on a first date from a white man. And that's just the truth. You know, some people want to do the Starbucks or have a drink thing because they don't want to be stuck with this person for, you know, a 2-hour dinner. But first and foremost, you're not stuck with anything. If this person says or does something at dinner that you don't like or you feel uncomfortable with, you get up and walk the fuck away. Period. And that's what I'm saying about the people pleasing and this feeling that you have to do something. No. If I were ever in a situation where I felt uncomfortable, I would get up and I would walk away. Period. When it comes to a dating site, my advice is to leave Tinder alone. And to be completely honest, if you are a woman in your 40s or 50s, most of them are not checking for you. They're looking for the girls that are, you know, 25 to bang, okay? Again, you may find that needle in the haystack, but for the most part, you know, Tinder would be a waste of time. There are other sites out there like Match.com, Hinge, Bumble. And another thing, do not send these men naked pictures of you. Let's say you go out with this guy once or twice and you never see him again. This guy now has naked pictures of you that he can do whatever with. Read my comments. You guys, read some of the comments made by men on my videos, the ones I haven't deleted. These are the type of men you're going to meet online. The bitter, angry losers of this world. The men who are taking their lack of significance in this world out on women. So, you know, they blame everything on their ex-wives. They play the victim. When you know you're only getting one side of the story. If you spoke to the wife, she would tell you something very, very different. Lastly, you have to hold yourself accountable for your decisions and for your actions. Just like I said about this woman who slept with this guy after a couple of days and then she got her feelings hurt, that's on her. I'm not trying to judge anyone. It's not about judging. It's about owning your shit. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys learned some things. Please comment below because I would love to read your comments and, you know, read stories of your experiences with online dating. So thank you for watching, and until next time. Mwah.